The crow held its 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 shining trophy tight. 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 The key was nestled between the reeds, but it was just out of reach. Inside was a scrap of journal. The strangers on the water went on without me. Where have I landed? Vines and thorns stretch out to trip me. The broken net hung ominously around the skeleton's neck. stranger shivered in the cold. Warmth was a distant memory, stolen by the passing miles. They'd moved through such dark places. They lay down and closed their eyes. The stranger blinked at Ember. Is it morning already? How long have I been asleep? The ember was curious. curious. Where did you wake up? I'm headed for the crossroads. It's not far, I think. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place. The fisherman murmured quietly between sorrowful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with a frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman he looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. There's a frog in that pond. I saw him grow from a tadpole. We were friends of a sort. Spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog is. Catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days. The fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their rod. Well, listen to me here rambling on. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you, Ember. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See what I can do. With a silk thread, the fisherman carefully knotted it together. With each knot he tied, a net began to form. Here you go. Good as new. stranger was trapped, caught in a maze. It was hard to make sense of this place. The trail just kept on closing. The stranger's voice was hoarse. I just need some time, I think, to see things clearly. The worm looked helpless, with no way to. As Ember picked it up, the worm let out a little yelp. The stranger whispered, I've never felt that. What does it feel like? Is it nice? It sounds nice. The key was but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head. The sea didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. This was not how Ember had imagined the end. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then the fog returned Ember's good deed. by leading them to a lost forlorn. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. "Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there." The Wanderer's Diary. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger spoke. "You look hungry, friend. You bring in... There's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more." The stranger had blazed their own path, created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. The traveler said, "You sailed in here. Where's your boat? Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back." The traveler spoke. "You ever had roast frog, friend? I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle." The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you. The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Your journey lies ahead." Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The path to leave this place is blocked. I will guide others to follow after you clear the way. There are others like me who can help. You will always be welcome here in the forest. Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them. Ember approached the forlorn, but felt it. They said, "I know what I need to do. I don't want to be." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Ember approached the forlorn. They said, I don't want." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh. The two travelers were talking quietly. Yeah, I got so lost in the marsh. Why go anywhere else if it... Yeah, never having to worry again. The birds scare me though. The two travelers were talking. Yeah, I got... Why go anywhere? Yeah, the birds scare me though. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. The guard was protecting a path down between the rocks. Nothing down there but sadness and turning forlorn. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. The Forest King showed me the way. You'll see there's no need to keep going. He'll make a bird of you. Go get your feathers. Do you know where I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh? The crossroads gate was locked. It was worth trying, but it didn't fit in the lock. The guard joked. Another scrawny Ember from the... And with a bag looking all nice, both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly stare. The guard leered. The Forest King would like you, little Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that bag. We guard the door to the Forest King. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King will want to see you. Yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to show it. The giant's bird spoke softly. Another little Ember. Do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little Ember. Birds will take another under our wing. Stay safe in the nest, you'll never turn forlorn. Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See, night is gone. Birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay? No need to help, silly fool. Hope is false. Hope hurts little ones in the end. The Forest King spoke so gently. Perhaps they could rest here. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little Ember, you will stay. You will not turn forlorn. Search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather means Ember is one. Birds keep little ones safe. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem pleased. Clever Scruff sticking with us. I can hold that bag for you. Leave him alone. They're one of us now. Yeah, one of us. And we all shares bags and things. The stranger wanted Ember's attention. Being careful not to speak too loudly. You should get away from here while you still can. You can't trust the birds. I've heard there's another campfire in the marsh. Well, that's where I'm going if I can find a way down. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. Nothing down there but sadness and turning forlorn. Go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. Got your first feather, I see. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen. Yellow eyes in graying trees. This forlorn was not the same as the others. The forlorn whispered softly, I may never be ready. The future is yours, but mine is mine. Ember left the forlorn. The time wasn't right, perhaps would never be. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on. The travelers seem distressed. I'm sure it's fine. They'll be okay. But it's been a while since... It's my fault. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There are memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. The traveler whispered quietly, "No matter where I go, no matter where, always here." It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. It was the same place as before. But how? An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds. A figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? Gradually, more of the map was revealed. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The stranger spoke. You know, part of me didn't want to be. I said some things I shouldn't have, and now I'm lost. And it's too late. The statue spoke. The instrument you now hold has the another before you took great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We work together, silk and tar and aching fingers. My boat floats once more, though I almost wish to stay. The skeleton looked. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton held tightly in its hand was a red feather. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. The There was one last place to reach on the map. Ember felt a great relief to be out of the mist. The way through was ruined. Muffled by the fog, Ember was sure they heard a rumble. Could that have been a tremendous snow? Ember didn't mind getting muddy. The slide was such fun. A sleeping pig. Trotters in the air. They looked happy. The plant looked like it could take a hand off, and it was in Ember's way. The fruit was giving off a sickly sweet smell. The plant looked like it could take a hand, and it was in Ember's way. The plant looked like it could, and it was in Ember's way. Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy. hideous odor filled the air. And suddenly, the reason was obvious. The pig inhaled a giant snort of air. Wait, what's that delicious? Ember shuffled nervously. Other embers fed me treats. But then stopped. You feed me now. As the pig chewed, a light grew in its belly. Fruity, fresh, but tastes a lot like mud. But what I want is something with more crunch. The pig would eat anything. Ember just needed to find more. No, I want something different. The skull was disgusting. Perhaps the pig would like it. And with each thing it ate, the light grew even brighter. Crunchy, embery, not much meat, bit too bold, but what I want is a flavor with more spark. Perhaps if Ember could satisfy the pig, they might be more helpful. Ember came upon another campfire lost in the wilderness. It looked long. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." This is the hollow. Here hope was consumed before it could flow. You must not lose hope, or you too will turn forlorn. Ember thought of those they loved, those they'd left behind. There are others lost along their journey. Find them and I will guide them. The Forest King watches the doors. The campfire will find those who are lost. Bring embers to the fire. Down steps to your east, travel the path south, watching a pig grow unhappy, a forlorn lost hope. The stranger had come so very far. They felt the air beneath them, the distance ever widening.